So I was doing a bit of investigating. Let's call it investigating. And I ran across something called Phoenix credits, or Phoenix coins. And you'll find this by going to the Uplay Club, Ubisoft Club. And the reason I went there is because I was on the Twitter feed today and I saw someone talking about make sure you go redeem all of your stuff from the Uplay Club for The Division so that you can have, unique skins, some extra Dark Zone keys. There's a chance to get the soundtrack too if you're into that kind of stuff. I'll have a link in the description below. And if you've been playing Ubisoft games in the past, like Far Cry and stuff like that, whenever you get an achievement, you get Uplay points or Uplay coins, and you can redeem those points. In this case, in The Division, you can get yourself spray stripes, an urban snow weapon skin, a master crafting kit, the iconic Division jacket, Dark Zone keys, the soundtrack, and then a bunch of other stuff. And that's just to name a couple. So that's pretty cool. But on top of that, there is something called the Phoenix Credit Pack. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen that before, and I haven't seen too many people talking about it. I'm sure it's already out there, but it is, obviously, because I'm looking at it from a separate website other than Ubisoft. But basically it says that they are special in-game currency used for purchasing high-level equipment, and players will receive these credits from the reward claim vendor who is located in the base of operations. But that's basically it. There's no other information about how to attain these things, and really what type of high-level equipment are they going to be used for. So before we jump to any kind of conclusions here, I'm curious to know what you guys may think. But here's what I think, okay? And like I said, this is not backed up by fact or anything like that. This is just pure conjecture and speculation on my end. What if it's some type of microtransaction system, right? And I know that's like the ultimate no-no word that nobody likes because it's usually implemented very poorly when you look at certain games like maybe Destiny in a way. Depends on how you look at that microtransaction system. Not trying to take a shot at Destiny, but in my personal opinion, I feel like the microtransactions were not implemented well in Destiny. I feel like the system itself, standalone, was fine. The way they did it was poor. Now with Division, let's just say that if this is actually the case, which we don't know if it is or not, right? I hope that it is purely cosmetic and it is a pure solution, the only way solution to get certain type of cosmetic gear, and that's it. But we've seen in the past with other titles, not just Destiny, but with other titles, that cosmetic boundary is always being pushed. It's always being taken to the next level. And so that's maybe a bit of a fear for me. The other thing too is that it could not be microtransactions, which I would be okay with. I'm actually okay with it being microtransactions, being able to purchase cosmetic items. But let's say it's not microtransaction. Let's say it's something different. And so maybe you get these Phoenix credits for killing high-level bosses in both PvE and the Dark Zone. So we know in PvE that at the end of certain missions that you complete throughout the campaign, you are going to run into certain bosses. And those bosses are generally beefed up versions of enemies that are going to either whoop your ass or make your life somewhat difficult depending on your gear and how well you understand the mechanics of the game. Most of the time though, I think players understand how the mechanics work. So at the end of, say, the hospital mission, you knew exactly what to do to beat that guy. It wasn't very difficult. The big flamethrower guy at the other mission too, I think we all understand that he's not too difficult to beat either, right? Maybe it's for exploration. So throughout the campaign mission, there was X amount of phones that you could pick up. There were little pamphlets about missing agents. There was drones apparently too that you can shoot down. I only found one. I think there was only one. It was like crash into a building. You just shoot it down and go pick it up. So maybe it's through exploration that you get this kind of stuff. Maybe the flip side to it is maybe it's purely Dark Zone, where it's an added staple point to maybe the rogue system, or perhaps killing super rare spawned enemies that are super difficult that only show up once a day. Kind of like WoW's rare mechanic in some of the rare mobs that spawn. I have no idea. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Personally, I hope it is not a microtransaction system. I know that microtransaction systems exist in other Ubisoft titles, and the way the industry has been moving in the past 5 years, it would be incredibly silly for a MMO FPS, I guess that is the vision, even though it's not really an MMO, it kind of is, but not really, to not have a microtransaction system. It just doesn't make sense in the day and age. The communities and the consumer base, really the install base, is acclimatized to them. They understand now that they must exist regardless of the pandering and the bitching made by the vocal members of the community saying they won't buy it, they won't participate, etc. Down with the corporate mentality. People say that all the time. It doesn't matter. This game is on the hype train to success. It is going to sell a gajillion copies most likely, and to capitalize on their success, since there is no sub model, they will most likely introduce a microtransaction system. Although I could be wrong. I could be completely talking out of my ass here. And I know most of you are probably hoping that I am wrong and I fall flat on my face. I'm just saying from a marketing standpoint and from a business standpoint, if I was working for Ubisoft as some type of head producer or whoever's in charge over there, I think it's their marketing team or something like that, I would push heavily for an implementation of a cosmetic microtransaction system, quoting both World of Warcraft from Activision Blizzard and, of course, Destiny from Bungie, not to mention Counter-Strike, etc. I mean, the cosmetic microtransaction systems are a good move. The problem with it is that the barrier of what is cosmetic is always being pushed. And so as long as there is a clear dividing line that says your gear, whatever you're equipping, your clothes and whatever, that's cosmetic. The way you look is cosmetic. But buying XP packs, buying chances for extra gear to drop, buying level boosts, buying a stupid Sparrow Racing book, that was an unfortunate shot. I apologize for that. But you get where I'm going. That isn't necessarily cosmetic, right? So there is a difference there. And I think that difference, hopefully, if it exists, and I'm not saying it does, but if there is a microtransaction system, maybe this is a good way to be like, hey, you know, this is cosmetic and this isn't cosmetic. But here's what they're also saying. This is from acceleratedideas.com. This is pretty much where I'm looking at information. It says, it's also worth pointing out that Ubisoft Club is not a pay-to-win mechanism. You can't buy packs with real money. Therefore, players cannot buy their way to high-end equipment before other players have a chance to legitimately do it. End quote. And essentially what they're saying there is that you have to use the Uplay points to buy some of these items. But the way these items work is you can only unlock them once. So it's like a teaser, a test, because even the Master Crafting Kit only gives you adds 2 of each of the rarest resources, something like that. And that's it. So it's not like you're able to unlock it again and again and again and again, from the best of my knowledge at least. There's one for Dark Zone keys, etc. Right? So I assume it's like a little test teaser to kind of get you something so that maybe you have a little bit of an edge, something like that. I'll put the articles and the information in chat so you guys can check them out. If you guys do have a Uplay account, I recommend redeeming some of the stuff for Division so you can look a little snazzy. I bought myself the iconic Division jacket with my Uplay points. But the broker outfit does look pretty bass too. Boss. Looks boss. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys worried about it being a microtransaction system? I'm not trying to stoke the flames of fire here. I'm not trying to start rumors or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I think could happen. And I have been wrong plenty of times. Okay? And I hope, in this case, that the microtransaction system, if it does exist and is that's what they're going to look at doing, they do it right. I also hope that I'm wrong and there isn't one, right? Because microtransactions suck balls to a certain extent. What do you guys think? Are you curious to know what these Phoenix credit packs are going to be? Let me know. You guys are beautiful people. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.